What's up, guys? Ricky here with another review on the Death Metal Superman. And this is the DarkFather builded figure. Let's see. So let's look at it real close in the package. So, let's see. We got pretty interesting looking face. I like the character design. I never read these comics, but the character design of Superman looks pretty cool. Looks like he's got like a stone arm there. Comes with an extra hand. Looks like we got some good sculpts, some good details there as well. Let's see. Ooh, some really cool boots. This could definitely use some silver highlighting on the spikes and on the buckles and on the little rivets there. Also, black wash would do wonders for this too. So it comes with an extra stone hand too, and comes with the arms for the DarkFather and a character card. So pretty good. So I got this one at a vintage stock, and they were doing a buy one get one free on clearance items. And I just reviewed my buddy's Robin King, which you can check that review out. And he wanted to build the DarkFather, so pretty cool to find this one. So I ended up getting two figures for $18.99. Pretty good deal. So that's the front of the package there. You have the side of the package, so Superman. Back of the package, you have an action figure shot, which looks pretty good. This is number 2, so it comes with the arms. And right, you build the DarkFather there. There's an image, and these are the figures you have to complete it. And then here is the side here. So Dark Knight's Death Metal Superman and the Death Metal logo. So let's open this up and see what we're looking at. Okay, here is Death Metal Superman out of the package and looking pretty good. So you can see it comes with some extra hands that I got there on the base. And pretty neat. So I like the articulation on this one. I know we'll go into that in a second, so I'll show you what the articulation looks like. But I think the articulation is kind of fun. Now, the paint application is not too bad. There are definitely some opportunities. And it looked like my table just stopped spinning. But it looks like there's some opportunities around the black wash. Right? This could definitely use a black wash on the gauntlets. Definitely use a black wash on the shoulder as well to make those details pop. And on the little brass knuckles. Use a black wash on the silver chains. And I think the biggest opportunity is actually the boots. So they look amazing. But right, if this was my figure, I would be doing... I'd paint the metal pieces there on the bottom of the boot, the spikes, that little gauntlet there that you can see. I'd add a lot of silver highlights, not a black wash, and that would make the boots look so amazing. So, yeah, looking really good. So I love that figure. So it comes with, like I said, the extra hands. It comes with 2 DarkFather hands. So they look like they're pretty well articulated, and they look about the same, right? So they kind of the same as his arm there. So they could definitely benefit from black wash as well to fill in those details. And then he also comes with a character card as well. So this is the image from the back of the package. So very cool kind of flight looking pose there. Then here is the back, the biography here. So if you want to read that, you can pause your screen now and read it. Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. So let's get into the articulation and see what we are looking at. Does look up about that far, which is okay. So it's not too far, but it's a little bit enough to where, because you're going to obviously probably want to put him in some flying poses at some point. Does look down a little bit, not too much. You do have side to side. You do have a little bit of a side to side pivot too. So not too much, but a little bit. Now the shoulders go up past 90 degrees, which is really nice. You do have single jointed elbows, but you do have a pivot within in that as well. So you do have bicep swivel and you have a swivel around there where the elbow is. You do have wrist articulation as well. So pretty good there. Now you do have this joint. This is what I like so much. So it arches up a lot, which I really like. Arches forward quite a bit, which is nice. And you have a really cool side to side. So you'll be able to get them in some really cool dynamic, maybe punching poses, right? Which I think is pretty awesome. Then you do obviously can rotate side to side. Leg articulation goes up almost 90 degrees. You do have double jointed knees and ankle articulation and pivot, although the pivot is kind of tough with all the material down here, but is doable. And you can do sideways kind of into the splits. Can't go too far because the chains kind of hinder it, but you can do it, which is nice. And you can actually go back a little ways too, which is kind of neat. So the articulation overall is not bad. So I think it's pretty good. Like I said, this figure it's kind of solid, and I like the articulation it has for the size. So very cool. Okay, here we go. Let's get into the articulation of the DarkFather here. So we have the head articulation. Looks up pretty far, which is good, because sometimes McFarlane doesn't look up too far. So it looks up good. Looks down. decent. Looks down okay. You have a really nice head pivot there, so side to side. And you have a really good rotation as well. Now, the arms, you do have shoulder articulation. Just to let you know, when you assemble this guy, the arms are super, super tight, just to let you know. So it's kind of a pain. So it does have bicep swivel, elbow joints. The elbow joints are super hard to bend, and I don't want to force them too much, but it only goes like, you only get slight range of motion, which is unfortunate. And these things are very sharp, by the way, so it's kind of hard to maneuver and grip onto those, just to let you know. And then you do have some wrist articulation as well. Now you do have a ab crunch, so crunches forward about that far, so not too far. Crunches back pretty good, which is not too bad. You obviously can rotate really well. Legs go up fairly high, so you go to almost 90 degrees. You can go out and you can do the splits, so you can go out pretty far, which is nice. You do have double jointed knees, and you do have ankle articulation, pivot, and toe articulation. So very cool. So it came with some really some decent articulation, so not bad. I think out of all of it, I think I really do like the head articulation. You get a lot of movement there, which is good. You can get to look forward, look back. Cool chin thing going on. So very cool. So that's here too. Okay, here's a size comparison of the DarkFather Wave. So obviously we have DarkFather is the tallest in the middle. It looks like, as you kind of zoom out a little bit, looks like Superman is slightly taller than Wonder Woman, and Batman is slightly taller as well. So it looks like Superman and Batman stand about the same height, with Robin King being quite a bit shorter. So here we go. So let's do a quick measurement here. So it looks like your DarkFather stands at 8 inches exactly. You have Wonder Woman, which stands about 7 and maybe a quarter. So maybe 7 1/4 inches, and it looks like it's about the same throughout the board. With your Robin King standing at about 6 inches tall. So yeah, there you go. So I think those are all pretty good heights. I think they're all in height with each other, because obviously Wonder Woman stands about the same height as them, but also is wearing high heels, so I think that makes sense. So yeah, loving the height of these figures. Okay, here is DarkFather Build-A-Figure next to some other Build-A-Figures. So we have Atrocitus there on the right, we have the Bane Build-A-Figure on the left, and then to the far right we have the Merciless. So these figures stand about, so it looks like Atrocitus stands a little bit above 9 inches tall. We have the DarkFather that stands about 8 inches, maybe a little bit above. You have Bane, which stands about 8.5 inches. You have Merciless, which also stands about 8.5 inches. So that is the size comparison, just so you know. And I would also love to hear in the comments, what is your favorite Build-A-Figure that McFarlane has done so far? Okay, final thoughts on the DarkFather Wave. I think this wave is pretty darn cool. So I have not read the Death Metal comics before, but the Death Metal designs I think are just really kind of out of this world. I think they're really cool. They're really dark, really gritty, kind of looking character designs. Like the Batman there, like I love the spikes, I love the look. Robin King looks really menacing. Superman looks really unique and very awesome looking too. Wonder Woman might be the one that surprised me the most out of the whole bunch. I think the detail, character design, the attention to like the paint application on the shoulders of the skulls, etc. I think that one's probably the standout figure. I think that's the best one out of it in my opinion. And then creating the DarkFather I think is really neat. So overall, I say this is definitely a really good Build-A-Figure series, and I highly recommend it. So right now they are pretty cheap on Amazon, so if you're looking to complete the DarkFather, go for it. I think the figures in it are pretty good. And yeah, don't have a whole lot else to say, just that, yeah, they look good. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll keep continuing to bring reviews and customizations and other things like that to you all. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.